Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome to the player ratings after that big draw at Anfield. 1-1 finish. Some stoppage time drama for you to enjoy. Check out the watch along, check out the reaction we have for the ratings. Fan cams coming later. Keg start off with Martin Dúbravka, who made absolutely millions of saves today.
Yeah, as I've just done a little bit of look up while we're doing fan cams and stuff, and I can see that he faced 22 shots today. Yeah. And, it is Liverpool weren't as clinical as they have been over the last couple of years by a long stretch, but they still had their main threats there. It's not as if they've had a lot of injuries at the back this season, but they've still got Salah, Mane, Firmino, Jota. They still had many chances, and they squandered most of them. Dúbravka made a handful of really good saves. I say he faced 22 shots and done well to concede just the one. It was a great goal now by Salah. You can't really argue with him. Great touch, fantastic first touch, and powered straight into the top corner. You can't really complain about the goal conceded. But yeah, made a handful of really, really good saves. Seen quite a few go wide or over the bar as well. So yeah, brilliant performance from Dúbravka. If Liverpool were a bit more on that day, if it was the Liverpool of last season, they could have easily put 4 or 5 in the day. So yeah, well done to Martin Dúbravka. He can have a good 8.
Right, solid he was. Got in the way when it mattered. Made himself big. Like you say, maybe if Liverpool had put it either side of him, he would have been up to more of it. But he did make a great save to his right, actually, late on to stop them. So, class by Dúbravka, absolutely solid at the back. Getting back to fitness, getting back to match sharpness, I think, as well now. So, class day for him. I'll go Jacob Murphy at right wing back, who I think epitomised what he's done since he came back in the side, really.
Yeah.
Grafting, never giving up. He had more touches as well than any other team player of the day. He was class. He was really good. Doing that job on the right hand side. A couple of balls could have been better, especially late on while piling bodies forward. But he won some clever fouls at times as well, holding people off, and a real graft out of day in black and white. Jacob Murphy, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, great performance from him. I'll go backline with Ciaran Clark, and he was a bit disappointing today. It wasn't his day today, unfortunately, because the back three had a great game last week, and Ciaran Clark is usually one of our reliable unsung heroes, along with Federico Fernández in defence. You probably say Paul Dummett as well. If you're a neutral fan, you probably look at them three and be like, well, so his defence isn't very good, is it? But we love them. We're big fans of them three. It's the others that get more criticism among the fan base, like Lascelles and Shaw, that people look up to more. Lejeune's fairly inconsistent at times as well. But Clark was very disappointed today. I don't know why we started doing this fucking playing out from the back like we're Man City all of a sudden.
Awful.
Like as much as I like Ciaran Clark and Federico Fernández, it's not as if we're fucking Guardiola's team. They're not like 50 million ballers, are they? I don't know why the hell we were doing that. Shocking decision. But Clark was a little bit dodgy. I think earlier on he tried to play it out to the left hand side it must have been Dummett. It was miles in front of him. Matt Ritchie had to sprint in to stop it from going out to play for a throw-in. Dodgy at the back, trying to play it out. Didn't work. Keep getting caught out. Not his greatest day today. Unfortunately, he's going to have a 3.
I just avoided the old blooper reel, I think.
Just about.
Do all that without playing out from the back, like you said. If you're going to... You kind of just think you're going to turn to Man City overnight. We've never done that before, so why are we trying to do that?
I know. At Liverpool, at Anfield, I could take to stop playing it from the back, Bruce. Yeah, well done.
Mad. Fernández next to him, though. He was okay. I think he got better as the game went on. He as well didn't do great in the first half, I don't think, but started to perform better. Second half, definitely not as bad as Ciaran Clark. Grew into it. Fernández, pretty reliable after the break, I think, when Liverpool were on one towards the end of the first half, when they had all them chances mainly. Fernández did well. Took a good booking when he took a forearm smash to Salah. Got right in that. Give him one to remember.
It could have been a red. They were discussing that at halftime in the gantry.
But I'll give Fernández a good 6.
Yeah, and I think a similar performance from Dummett as well, to be fair, on the other side. Solid, reliable, good display, battled well to keep their front 4 out, let's say world-class front 4. So yeah, Fernández had a good game, Clark not so much, and Dummett on the other side, he was good, pretty reliable, so he can have a good 6 as well.
Your pizza's beeping, but I'll just do my rating before I go get that. Definitely back. You see what we have to do? I was at work, I haven't had any lunch and out. So, Matt Ritchie, though, at left wing back, again, a bit like Murphy the day. We didn't see an assist from him or a chip in with a goal, but he did graft his arse off. He was very clever at the time. He was holding players off well. And a couple of times he did actually take a bit too long. A couple of times he did get into good areas on the byline and then tried too hard, tried keeping the ball too long to pick someone out. Got cleared by Liverpool, so maybe we could have seen better there. But actually, was it not Ritchie's ball in and then Gayle headed it down to Willock? Is that how it panned out? Was that?
Oh, I can't remember. I'm going to have to see the replay of that. It was just the last couple of minutes was an absolute whirlwind. I can't even remember now happening by the ball again in the net.
Which one was?
Both, I know. Can't remember the build up to them at all.
Right, Ritchie, decent today. Another good performance. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. Good display from Matt Ritchie, as usual. And we'll get to the centre midfield partnership. And again, slightly disappointed in both of them, really. Like, decent enough displays, but Shelvey, again, 2 wayward passing, incomplete passes into the crowd. Well, the stand, because there's no one there. Just lackluster, just doesn't really inspire when he's got the captain's armband. You expect him to rise to the occasion, and he just hasn't done that yet again. For the last 20 odd minutes, settled into a centre-back role in the middle of the field, like a sweeper, keeper, captain, quarterback role. Like, it's just, I don't know what the thinking was behind that. Like, we see like the likes of Isaac Hayden getting pushed into centre-back and doing a good job because he played there for Arsenal, but how many times have we ever seen Shelvey play centre-back before, ever? Or any position that isn't centre-mid? At worst, defensive midfields. I mean, like, he doesn't really go anywhere other than those 2 roles, so it was a bit confusing, but yeah, I just always want to see more from Shelvey. I'm just always disappointed in him because I know he's got it in the locker. I basically say the same thing every week about Shelvey. I want to see more, and he just doesn't deliver on a consistent basis, so he can have a 5.
I think he's dropping deep quite a bit. He's been that quarterback sweeper role thing, but like when he was actually on the line as a clear centre back between Fernández and Dummett, it was like, fuck me, what am I watching here? But to be fair, he was a bit more composed back there. When he was in the middle of the park, he was pissing me off because he was wayward passing all the time, putting balls out, smoking around, not tracking back. But I think Liverpool could have exploited that a bit more with a bit more pace. Like,
yeah, definitely. Alongside him, Sean Longstaff.
I thought he had a really good game until about the last 10 minutes where he was just poor. He nearly gave a goal away. And I remember at the back he tries to play it to Shelvey, gives it away, someone latches onto it, and then they missed the chance. Lack of concentration there from Sean. He has an amazing run, brilliant run, holds his line from the middle of the park, gets one-on-one, scuffs it. Takes too long. I think he shakes his hand and thought, I'm about to score a goal. I forgot what this feels like. Especially
I feel that, you know. That's where he made his debut, to be fair.
He totally bottled that one, which is a shame, like I say, because he did brilliant to get in that position, but you expect him to find the back of the net, and they didn't. I think, in the middle of the park, he was a bit better, a bit more comfortable, trying to pass things about a bit. He made some good tackles, some good interceptions. So he was okay today. He was pretty good. But like I say, I think he started to burn out. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a good 7 though, because it was a good point today. Yeah,
that's fair play. He did show a bit, like he was just a bit more encouraged today, wasn't he? Just trying to get involved. So that's fair play. I'll go on Miguel Almirón, and it's just another disappointing performance from him again today. Like, since his injury was at the Southampton game, he picked up an injury. He's been up for a good few weeks. Came back just before the international break, and since his return, he just hasn't really been impressive. Like, I commend his work rate. He works really, really hard. He's a good grafter in the middle of the park, tracking back, trying to do defensive duties, win the ball back, and that's all great. That's all well and good, but that's not his key role. That's not really what you want to see from him. Like, you want to see him get forward, get on the ball, use his pace. That's his main attribute. Like, get forward, help with goals, assists, chip in the attack, and I just haven't seen that for a long time, really. Like, since like before the injury, because I think during December, January, he was probably our most consistent player. Even though we were losing games, he was the one who could hold his head up high coming off the pitch, where all the others were fucking shit. But yeah, he's just in a bit of a bad run of form at the minute. I don't know if he's still just not fully fit from the injury that he had, but yeah, he just can't beat a man. He struggles to get around his opponents, and doesn't get in the box enough, doesn't create enough chances, doesn't get many shots away. So, yeah, a bit of a disappointing performance from him, so he can have a 5.
Yeah.
Saint-Maximin.
Ooh, Saint-Maximin for me. Well, I think Liverpool realised, didn't they, that he was the main man. They thought themselves, we'll put 3 or 4 bodies on Saint because if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen through him. The rest of these lads, but shit. Just becoming ever less than that. You know, if it's not Saint-Maximin, it's Wilson. If it's not them two, we're not going to win a game. We're not going to score a goal.
Willock.
Or Willock off the bench. Let's not forget Joe Willock. So Saint the day was brilliant, man. Especially for that first half. Really, I thought second half he was quiet until he came back out of life. Undertaker sentence. Again. I mean, he started taking people on again because the first half he was incredible. He was incredible.
Yeah. I was worried about injuries though. I didn't think it was going to last.
He always takes a battering, doesn't he? He had the problems during the week with his ankle, off getting snapped a few times against West Ham. The day he's getting wiped out, that one against Fabinho near the end. Goodness me, the clothesline, absolute clothesline on there. He took a yellow card for it. Me, harsh one saying that must have been brutal, but he got up and he did have an impact towards the end. But the first half he was bossing it, man. I think every neutral watching that will just be standing up thinking, "Wow, this lad's class," and he is. He's absolute class. He's dazzling. He was dancing all over Anfield. He was taking people on, making things happen. Looking for that through ball. That's why Wilson should have been starting. Because if the through balls in the first half that he played like Joelinton and Almirón, if Wilson was there, it would have been a different story. Maybe we could have got more goals. But Saint at the heart of everything, he's just a joy to watch. Incredible. We're thinking maybe we should take him off because he looks knackered. He wasn't getting on the ball. He wasn't having them bursts of pace or sprinting away from people. And then stoppage time comes and he just takes control of it again. He comes to life, and he was unreal for me. I give him a good 8. It's a strong 8.
Yeah, it's a testament to him to see him being like treble and even quadrupled up at times. Like everyone was just marking him, that one man, which I don't know what that says for the rest of the players. Because if Saint-Maximin wasn't on, obviously Wilson was on the bench and Willock was on the bench, who would Liverpool be marking? They wouldn't. You know what I mean? They wouldn't really have any threats. They wouldn't really be worried about anybody. They'd just all be in that positions, just doing their job, man marking. Whereas, say 3 or 4 people had to come out of position and be all over him. It was like paint. Like credit to Saint-Maximin. Like if we haven't got him, we're nothing. We're boring. We're shit.
Championship.
We are fucking dead championship. I'll take the last of the starting 11 in Joelinton, who had a frustrating game today. Tried to get involved, try and build on a good performance. His last few performances have been all right. Tottenham was a good performance, got a goal. West Ham was a good performance, got a goal. Today, just failed to build on that. He tried. He had a few efforts. Like, if we were going to get a goal, it looked as if it might come through him. But if Wilson was on from the start, getting on Saint-Maximin's through balls, a moment where Joelinton and Miggy, lack of communication, just getting in each other's way. Like, Joelinton had a few efforts on goal, like the one from the second half. Done well, done all the hard work, but it is just that thing, like, since we've signed him, we just know he's not a clinical goal scorer. He just hasn't got the eye for goal, which is really frustrating because this game could have been any scoreline, a 5-4 or anything, but where would our goals have really come from? Because we did threaten a little bit, but most of it came through either Joelinton or Sean Longstaff or Almirón, and you wouldn't really have bagged on any one of them getting the goal today. So, yeah, disappointing performance, but I'll give him the effort for his work rate. So you can have a 5.
He did a good bit of play when he took the ball past the defender and then opened himself up in the box to get his shot away near the end, just before he got subbed, actually. But again, it was just the end point when there's just never any power behind those shots.
Yeah. That's the starting 11 and the first sub on the hour mark, Callum Wilson for Joelinton.
Big difference. Big impact on the bench. Let's hope he gets fitter. Let's hope he's fit to start next week against Arsenal. Get him in the team now, because I think the first half it could have been different if I had him. If a chance falls to him instead. Like when a chance did fall to him, he scored. I got ruled out eventually, but that was a load of bullshit. But the balls over the top, it was a clear plan when he came on. Ritchie, ball over the top, left-hand side, 2 or 3 times, trying to get in behind. Makes a big difference. Intelligent striker, strong, got to finish behind him. Got himself what should have been a goal, whether it ended up as a own goal or not, but he made it happen. I'll give him an 8, me, like, off the bench. Because if he didn't come on, we lose that game 1-0 for me. Like I said,
it just wasn't any any spark. Like if it wasn't for Saint-Maximin's efforts, and like the second half, he did look a little bit out of energy. It wouldn't have come through Almirón or Joelinton. We just wouldn't have had that creativity, that spark. Like it's like when you got Callum Wilson on, like even though like we might not be playing very attacking, we might not have a lot of possession, we might not be getting into the final third, but when we do, we think we've got a chance. We've got every chance in scoring, and we haven't had that in the past, however many years, like before signing Callum Wilson. Now when we do, when he's on the field, you think, get the ball in the box, like fucking get it to Wilson, like we've got half a chance here. It's just a huge difference, like obviously what Joelinton doesn't offer. Talking of goals, I'll get on to Joe Willock, the equaliser. 3 goals in the last 4 games, all either equalisers or match winners. Equaliser at Tottenham, a winner against West Ham, and an equaliser again today in his last 4 games. So inspirational. But before I get to the goal, though, and how important he actually is to the team, I think we did say during the watch along, like he's been missing, like, isn't he? Like at that time in the game when Wilson and Willock came on, neither one of them really got into the game, and they came on 60 minutes and 64 minutes respectively, but neither one of them really got into the game until like late on, until stoppage time, until like the closing minutes. Like neither one of them really got on the ball, like because it was just kind of like back to the wall job. It was like, is Brucey just going to play out for the 1-0 because it keeps the goal difference down, or what? Like we just didn't have possession. Like Sean Longstaff and Saint-Maximin looked absolutely knackered. Like it just looked like we weren't ever going to even try and get an equaliser until late on. So yeah, for much of the game today, Joe Willock might as well not have been there. He was completely absent. No fault of his own, obviously. I think it was more tactics up until Brucey decides to go smash and grab, waits until stoppage time. Oh, let's try and get an equaliser here, lads. And then Wilson. Where's Willock? He's got a couple of goals. Let's just fucking put the ball up to him and he'll try and get the goal. And he did. I say 3 goals in quick succession. Huge player for us at the minute. And I think it's frustrating, and I mentioned it before, like why he doesn't start, but obviously Brucey probably thinks he's got a winner off the bench, keep his legs fresh until the final minutes. I think I've seen on Sports Bible before, actually, his last 3 goals. One was a 85th minute equaliser, one was a 82nd minute winner, and a 95th minute equaliser today. So that's probably Brucey's thinking about it. It's like, let Sean Longstaff play until he gets tired and then bring Willock on and then he'll win with the game. It's a shit tactic. It's not really the way to go about it, but at the minute forward, it's working. It would just be nice to see more of him because I think he's got more energy. I think he's got better legs in the park than both Sean Longstaff and Shelvey. So at the same play for 90 minutes, he could get a couple more goals. We might not have to fucking smash and grab at the end. We might not have to wait until after the 80th minute to get back into the game. So it is frustrating to see him sat on the bench until the 64th minute when he should and could have been on from the start. So I didn't do much, didn't really have to do much, but came up good where he had to be. So similar to Wilson, he can have an 8 as well. Dwight Gayle on the 85th minute. I think did he say maybe got the header down to Willock for the goal, maybe got an assist. I can't remember, but
I'm pretty sure he did. I'd have to watch it back.
But a bit of a late sub. I don't know if I would give him a rating, now should we?
He got an assist. He can have a good 6. You know what I mean? Gale's got a class record against Liverpool, so maybe he could have started instead of Joelinton, but Joelinton will play every week no matter what. But
no, he did. I mean, a 95th minute assist for Dwight Gayle. Didn't have to say that there, but yeah, they get the assist, Dwight Gayle. So well done. Another impact sub, all 3 of them.
Right.
Well done. And finish off with Brucey. Did he play it right today? Did Brucey play his cards right?
I'd say he probably did in a way. Like, again, we're saying Willock should be starting, but if he's coming off the bench and getting the points, then you've got to look at it as being effective. Although, like you said, what might happen if he does start, though? Can we get 3 points to the 1 point? Can we not have really heart attacks and stoppage time? We can enjoy the game. But he's getting it right, and obviously still playing with the wing-backs, unchanged side from last week. And what I would just like to see is obviously Wilson coming for Joelinton or Willock for Joe. Just change it around. I mean, Shelvey at the whole right at the centre back thing was a bit of a madness. But a big point away, and at least for once it shows that if you don't just completely bottle it and try and defend for 90 minutes, you may get something out of it. Because we always did have the intention of breaking away then, trying to get something. We could have scored first half through Sean Longstaff. We had plenty of chances towards the end. Dúbravka obviously kept winning it, but I think there's other times where in the past where we would go on and we would have been 2, 3, 4-0 down in that game. Obviously, Liverpool was finishing not being great helped with, but I think us not sitting back as much or inviting them as much, it's a sign of improvement. You know what I mean? And I think the big results in the last couple of weeks have helped not being under as much pressure as we could have been if we were still flirting with relegation a lot closer.
And 4 games unbeaten and playing some really good teams.
8 games unbeaten.
Is it? Because we had a bunch of draws beforehand.
We had 4 draws in a row, which we should have got with like West Brom and
yeah, we did, didn't we?
Willock and all that. So I think it's 7 games unbeaten.
Isn't the Brighton game in between there though?
I'm not sure. Was it after Brighton then? Or maybe 1 loss in 8, so maybe like 7 unbeaten.
Yeah.
But it's quite a few, getting the points. That's like he said all along, it's only with the accumulation.
Accumulation.
He's getting the accumulation. So hopefully that's enough now to see with through. I think it's a great point. Shame we couldn't have got 3 points since we haven't won there in about 30 years, but good point of the day. I'll give Brucey a 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. Decent display, not too bad at the back. Good subs, impact subs. I think you're doing well today.
Yeah, happy days. Let me know your player ratings in the comments. Cheers for watching. Make sure you check out the rest of the match day content there from the 1-1 draw at Liverpool. Fan counts will be up shortly. Cheers, Kate. Been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
No bother, mate. You too.
Everyone else have a good one. See you later and enjoy yourself.